The United States of America, for any number of reasons, does not select its president by a pure popular vote. Our founders did not want our country to be a democracy, which we are not. Rather, we are a republic.
In the era after Reconstruction, the Jim Crow South, many Black people were unable to vote. And in fact, some Latino activists would argue that Latinos were not fully able to vote until Section 203, which helped language minorities for whom California has so many Asian and Latino language minorities, meaning they're limited English proficient. There were all these revisions to really get to fair representation, and it's a struggle.
The 14th Amendment to the Constitution, the equal protection, citizenship, was ratified and added to the U.S. Constitution in 1866. Back then, California didn't ratify. California only ratified that in 1959. That's when we ratified the 14th Amendment.
And we think of California as this liberal, progressive place, but there are a lot of times in which, we had these forms of policy violence that really upheld white supremacy, which is why I'm always a big fan of moments in history where you see these moments of multicultural, multi-ethnic organizing, because that is what you really need to undo some of these issues.
California was the 6th state to pass suffrage for women, but all of the first dozen states that passed suffrage laws that allowed women to vote were in the West.
And of course, by the 20th century, intertribal organizations protest for the right to be able to vote. And the rights that I have as an Indigenous person today wouldn't be possible if they didn't take those risks.
Prop 187 marked a turning point in California history.
And it was a proposition that denied undocumented immigrants state-funded services. So this was exclusions from public education and non-emergency healthcare kinds of services. But this was mobilizing for the Latino community. Individuals who might otherwise have stayed home and not registered at all really became motivated to become naturalized, therefore eligible to register, signed up, and then actually turned out to vote.
I talked about how important it is for us to take control of our vote, because for so many years, we didn't have that right,
They're talking about voting. Maybe some of them don't want to vote because I remember during the 2020 elections, they're like, I don't like any of them. I'll just not vote. And I'm just like, you have this privilege that not many other people can.
There's 183,000, I think is the number, DACA students in California who are standing on the sidelines while, these elections are happening.
Who are we serving? And who have we not been serving, and why not? And are we actually living up to our own missions if we are failing to serve vast swaths of the communities we say we're here to cover?
We sent someone out into the world, Mary Plummer, who was covering politics, to ask what people wanted to know about an upcoming election. And what we found out was they wanted to know how to vote.
In general, over the course of the 20th century, there's been an increase in the right to vote. We are now seeing rollbacks to that, not only with respect to Supreme Court decisions such as Shelby County, but also with respect to states across the nation, Georgia, Texas, Arizona, finding ways to disenfranchise voters.
I look at the U.S. Capitol now as a metaphor for our democracy. It's a lot more vulnerable than we thought it was. And it's been badly damaged. But it's survived. And if you're going to fix a democracy that has been damaged but not destroyed, it requires every single one of us, regardless of racial, ethnic, religious, urban, rural, gender identity, any other type of background, to decide that we have a stake in that ultimate outcome.